Hi friends, welcome back to Hogle Zoo. We are so glad you're here. It's time for your field trip. So go ahead, gather all the kids around, gather your siblings around. You guys have been working hard on your homework. I need somebody to tell me they see me though. There we go. Welcome. I just start seeing some traction. I want to make sure you guys can see us. So have to say hi to our Instagram audience. Thank you for joining us. You guys, we are taking you on these field trips every day at 11:30. We know you're going through Hogle Zoo withdrawals because we're going through withdrawals right now. Thank you. Laura can see me. I'm so glad about that. Guys, you can see what's over my shoulder. You see those little guys down there? Before we get going, we want to again thank you. We're doing these every day at 11:30 so that you can get your zoo fix. If you haven't seen the past ones, scroll back through our newsfeed. All of these Facebook Live videos just live on our page forever. And then we also have YouTube links. So if you have friends who maybe aren't on Facebook and they want to see the animals too, have them head to YouTube and just type in Utah's Hogle Zoo and they will see all of the videos, our Facebook field trips. We're so glad you're here. You guys, they are so excited to have visitors because I think the orangutans might be one of our more popular animals insofar as they just love to interact with your kids when they come up. So naturally, let's turn this around and introduce you to our esteemed crew. Look how far we're standing apart. Yep, there we go, just like we did in PE from years ago. Hannah, Cindy, cute Hannah from our marketing department. She's checking in with us as well. She's doing our Instagram feed. You guys, now I'm gonna hold the microphone out, but I'm gonna stand over here.
Okay.
Let me clip this to my jacket right there. So speak up, but tell us who we have here.
Over here we have our 3 Bornean orangutans. On the ground there we have Maya. He's our big adult male. And then up on the structure, coming over to see us, we have Akara up front. She's the one coming down, and right behind her is her little brother Tua.
So, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get lost, kind of just looking at little Tua, who always just looks like a little old man to me. His little old man hairdo. But they're so excited every time. Look, as we've been closed, what I've noticed is every time I walk down the pathway, Akara is coming right over to say hi. So they're such social creatures, I guess, for lack of a better word. Tell us kind of how they're doing right now.
They're doing pretty good. They're having a good time hanging out with keepers. We've been giving them a little bit of extra enrichment, a little bit of extra training, a little bit of extra trust building so that we can maintain our relationship. And while it's sad that we're closed and we don't have guests here that they can interact with, we've been trying to kind of make up for it while you guys are at home keeping safe.
Kenny, we do have these on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and find the zoo's page, which is just Utah's Hogle Zoo, all of these videos are on YouTube. So I do want to mention that real quick. Okay, here come the questions, you guys. Now, of course, a lot of our students had field trips scheduled here at the zoo and they got canceled. So we're trying to, oh, here we go. Now, what are we tossing in?
We're tossing some lids.
Let me take a look at one of those before you toss it.
So they've got a little bit of smear peanut butter and some seeds.
Oh, that's what I had for lunch.
Yeah, everybody gets at least one. It can be a little tough.
Now, does he get
Maya
picky?
Definitely gets a little bit more. But yeah, so Tua and Akara will tend to grab them and run and go up the structure where Maya doesn't always go to hang out. Whereas Maya will kind of pick up as many as he can and hold on to them and stockpile them a little bit. So
should we sneak? Are you tossing more in?
Yeah.
I just want to sneak where we can see them, maybe a little bit better. So a couple questions. Do they like to? That was a good throw. I'm glad I'm not throwing these live.
Right.
Tell us a little. They're amazing climbers. We're getting a lot of questions about
definitely.
how fast they can climb.
Yeah, they are great climbers. Okay.
You can see, look at, you guys, she caved under pressure.
So
she caved under Facebook pressure. Should we step, maybe let's step to the left so we can see the others up on there.
Yeah.
So they are climbers. Now in the wild, they would kind of hang out up high, wouldn't they?
Yes, definitely. These guys are mostly arboreal. So by that meaning that they live in the trees. And when you are here and you see them, you can kind of see that their feet almost look like a second pair of hands. They've got very dexterous feet as well as hands. And
see, that's her foot right there holding on like that.
yeah, so they are really great climbers, better than we are.
Can you see that? I'm trying to hold my hand steady.
Yeah, if you've ever visited them in the lobby, a lot of people see them hanging by just like the bolts on the inside of a window. They're very specially designed for all of that.
It's just pretty amazing. There's little Tua on the ground. Now, how big, Lucas wants to know how big they can be when they grow up.
Well, Maya is right around 240 pounds. He is a full-grown male. He He is a pretty big guy.
Is he big for a full-grown male then?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Hey, no shame. No shame. I'm not.
We do try very hard to get him to exercise. We'll kind of run around the building with him and have him follow us. So we do try and get him moving around more. But obviously our adult males are a lot bigger than... Akara is technically an adult female. She is obviously a lot smaller than he is. And you can see the differences between them. Maya has those big cheek pads.
Oh, network connection available. Oh, I don't want this to be connection available. Is this better now? Do you guys, is it back? All right, well, let's keep talking because it looks like some people can still see us. So Orangutan said how much, you said he weighs 200 something.
Yeah.
Maya. And then do we know how much little Tua weighs? He wants to come down and say
He's about
hi.
50.
Oh, good. We're back. You guys, I don't know why it went away, but we're so glad you're back and hopefully it should continue to load. And again, all of these live on Facebook forever and then also on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and type in Utah's Hogle Zoo, you'll get all of our Facebook field trips out there. Okay, everyone's like, yay, it's working. So, all right, we restarted and we're back.
Wonderful.
Okay, now Dakota wants to know what sound they make. So you guys know I like to put my keeper friends on the spot.
We were practicing this morning. I was prepared.
Were you?
You may not be prepared.
You ready?
For this.
You ready to give it a
That one
go?
over there has the really good
Is Hannah?
Listen, I am not doing that.
Hannah's done. Hannah,
Noises.
Hannah's not doing it.
Maya does a long call. It is quite low and guttural. Yeah. It's usually kind of like a do 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 do, and then it gets louder. Hey, stop that.
Yay, let's give some thumbs up for Cindy. That was a good one.
But it'll go, I mean, it'll get much louder. He'll usually make quite a ruckus as he makes his loud, long call. Tua there being a little guy, he'll definitely do some squeaks to try to get attention. So, you know, just imagine your normal squeaking noises. Akara doesn't make a whole lot of...
She's pretty
loud
quiet.
noises, yeah.
Yeah, you guys, we're showing this video on Instagram as well, so please, yeah, that was a good one. That was a look. You got a thumbs up. Hello, Cindy from Jennifer. Do you know Jennifer?
She's my coworker from my last year.
See, there you go. She liked your ring. She liked your ring noises. That's great. Okay, how old are each of our three here?
So Akara is 15. She's gonna be turning 15 this year. Tua is 5, and Maya is 30.
Tua is 5 and very brave.
Very brave.
Back there getting up in Maya's business.
Yeah. See, Akara stays away.
Yeah, she's smart. Okay, now Ivy wants to know if they eat bananas.
Oh, they love bananas. So every day we do training sessions with them. We try to get in at least 2 actual formal training sessions. And that's when they're going to get all of their good stuff, all the fruit, including bananas. They'll eat oranges and grapes and apples and pears. They get a lot of good stuff. And during those training sessions, that's when we can work on some of their medical behaviors. So we can ask them for their hands, their feet, turn around, open your mouth, stuff like that, so that we can assess how they're doing safely. And yeah, it's a good time for them. It helps to build our relationship with them as well.
So we're looking at Maya. He's looking peanut butter off of that lid. Now, Dominic said, do they blow raspberries?
Yes.
Because he said they did to him one time.
They do.
Try to not feed into that and get it, because it is an attention grabber. So we try to ignore them, even though it's very cute. But yeah, they definitely will try.
Now, why do you want to, tell me why you want to ignore it?
It's just not very polite.
Oh. Manners,
Yes.
people, manners.
Yeah, we do want these guys to have good manners, and we want them to be, easy to work with, because, makes everybody's job a little bit easier, makes their day a little bit better if they're cooperative and polite, and if we're cooperative and polite back to them.
Now, my question, Tua is really brave and kind of went in there. Akara
Yeah.
stays away. Is Maya more patient with Tua because he's little than he would be with Akara?
Maya's patient with both of them. Tua's just being brave. Maya's a pretty calm guy. He's pretty patient. When you guys can come back to the zoo, you'll often see Maya and Tua playing together. He's a very good influence for Tua.
You have a lot of...
Had a previous baby, so
Yeah.
Oh, so he's used to...
yeah,
okay.
he's used to young ones.
You have a lot of people going, Akara's 15? No way. Tia here, she said, I remember being a volunteer at the zoo when she was a newborn. So, yeah, Akara's been a community favorite.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm looking at you, Cindy, and not following the animal. Sorry, I got distracted, you guys. There's a lot going on here. Courtney, yes, they do play with each other. Do you see a lot of interaction between them all?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Yep. We do sheet monster, where they'll put sheets over and wrestle each other. Tua likes to just, swing around Maya's head and smack into him sometimes. They do a whole lot of wrestling around. Sometimes they'll play a little tug of war with each other, usually with like toys and stuff. But yeah, it's usually just a lot of, ground grappling and stuff.
Now, do they know, Emma wants to know if they know their own names when you try to get their attention.
Absolutely.
They definitely know their own names. But since they're working on stuff right now, we'll let them kind of play with what they want to.
They also do know their keepers' voices, so a lot of times I know people will come and try to call out to them and get their attention. Akara is a little more apt to pay attention because she just likes that. But a lot of these guys are going to kind of ignore it because they know they're not going to get anything.
They're like, you don't have the treats we like. Why bother?
Them, so...
Yes, I mean, they do eat peanut butter. In fact, that's what they're eating right now. That's their treat. They smeared some peanut butter on these lids and kind of...
palm oil.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Very important. Let's talk about that because they're critically endangered in the wild, Bornean orangutans. So tell us what we can do to help.
So the big thing, there's a really easy app that you can get. So Cheyenne Mountain Zoo has done a lot of work into this. And it is a palm oil app. We actually have a card, it's on the other side, that we can show a little bit later. But you can scan barcodes in it. You could do searches by subject. So if you just want to look for what peanut butter is going to be good, you can do that. It shows a color system. So green is good, yellow is they could do better, red is walk away.
Red light system.
Exactly.
Walk away.
A lot of companies are trying really hard. It's still a work in progress, even for the locals that are trying to work with it. A lot of them want to help, but obviously they're trying to feed their families. They're trying to take care of what they need to do as well. So there's a lot of work still going on over in their areas in the forest to try to make it easy for them to participate and make it sustainable, as well as making it easy for us to be able to see who to support.
So did you see Akara reach in and grab a lid while Maya was otherwise occupied?
He's got the whole bucket in front of his face, so it's pretty helpful.
This is Akara's hiding in the bushes right there.
Going for some
Are they
offshore.
taught any sign language as enrichment or to communicate?
No, they don't know any sign language. We do use some hand signals for different behaviors that they do. Like if we ask them to open their mouth or stick out their tongue, those all have different hand gestures that we will do. But in terms of sign language, no, they don't do any sign language.
We want them to be their natural self.
Exactly.
So we don't want to really mess with all of that and get them confused with other things. So it's easy just to let them do their wild thing.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch them navigate the structure. They make it look so easy.
Don't they? Should have seen us earlier.
Yeah.
Were you guys trying to navigate the structure?
So like the mirrors and triangle swings I all put up this morning. So,
do
yeah,
you
I'm
guys
glad
go
no one
climb
was
around on that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Can we do that for Facebook Live?
Fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think
us
we'd
struggle.
love to see that.
Belly down on that hammock trying to hang stuff.
See, we'd love to see that. We would love to
T-Rex
see that.
arms. They have much longer ones.
Carrie asks a great question that I think our zoo members are probably always wonder is how warm does it have to be for them to come outside? Because otherwise we visit them inside.
Great question. So usually we will give them access so that they can come outside. What was it, like around 35, 40?
Yeah, 40.
So they can choose to come outside if they want to around 40 degrees. Once it hits about 55 degrees, we will say, okay, you go outside, and we'll close the door so that they spend time outside in the yard getting some sunshine, getting some fresh air. But at night, everybody does come back inside for the night. So.
And it's not a hard, fast roll. We have to take into account wind, clouds, all that stuff.
Rain.
We're going to try to make sure we check.
Sometimes it's too hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly,
yeah, but then we can spray them down, right? Don't you
Yep.
do you turn one on?
Misters, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can give them pools. We'll do ice treats when it's hot, all that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, so it can be a tricky weighing out to make sure that they're going to be comfortable. A lot of times we'll go out without our coats on to make sure if we're comfortable, they're going to be comfortable.
You guys are tough, though. You ought to make marketers come out without our coats on, I'll tell you. Ooh, too cool. Yeah, you guys, we've been doing these Facebook field trips, and of course inviting our Instagram audience along as well. We've been doing these every day at 11:30. If you've missed some, just scroll back through our Facebook feed. Also, they're on YouTube as well. So if you go to YouTube and just type in Utah's Hogle Zoo, you will get our whole playlist of these field trips. Because a lot of kids were looking forward to their zoo field trip, and those got canceled. So we just want to make sure you're getting your zoo fix. And then also remember, this is just kind of a tough time. These gorgeous creatures that we have, they require tremendous health care, and they eat a lot. So it's not a cheap business model. So if you'd like to support your zoo, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You know, if you buy tickets now, you can use them for a year, year. They're good for a year. Now's a good time to buy your membership. If you just like to donate, there should be a donate button right here on our Facebook page. You can also go to our website at hoglezoo.org, because we'd love for you to show us how much you're loving these animals and these videos, and just kind of help us out in this tricky time. I know it's kind of sketchy for everyone. Also, we have some artwork that's for sale and all sorts of great stuff. So hoglezoo.org. Let's see, another question. Will Tua stay at the zoo for a while, or is he part of the SSP program?
That's a really good question. So all these guys are part of the SSP. And in the
That
wild,
stands for Species Survival
yes.
Plan.
In the wild, these guys are mostly solitary. They don't, you wouldn't see them in large groups the way that you would see other ape species in large groups. So that being said, eventually Tua is going to get big enough to kind of fly the nest, if you will, and he will most likely end up somewhere else. Start his own family, you know?
Yeah, for breeding purposes, right? To help the
Exactly,
species.
yes.
Now, somebody else had commented earlier at how little Tua still is. So they actually stay with their moms for quite a while.
They do, yeah.
It's
They are
usually-
slow developers.
Yeah, I mean, right now he would start being a little bit more independent, but they stay pretty needy and attached for quite a while, which is one reason why they are critically endangered as well. They only have one baby at a time, and then they have those big long periods of time where they're carrying and taking care of it. So they typically, a female would have about 4 offspring in their entire life. So
That's
just
not
losing,
much.
nope. So just losing one female is a huge hard hit for them. So that's one of the reasons why they're difficult, but it also kind of shows, you know, they are very close to us. We have our kids that stay with us for quite a while, and it's very similar with them.
While they're all kind of hunkered down eating their peanut butter, do you guys want to give us a little surprise and check across the way?
I saw
Because
some people watching.
the two our keepers here, Cindy and Hannah, also take care of our gorillas. So let's give you, oh, there's a gorilla right there. Yes, Akara does treat Tua. She's more of a mother role for him, and that was a great story of our zoo history from, how old's Tua now? 5 years ago, and we'll share that. But let's switch gears for a minute.
So we've got some PVC pipes with treats in it, but we also did bring out a couple of Kongs, which you may notice from like dog toys.
Yeah, let's take a look. I'm keeping my
This
distance.
is Jabali's favorite toy.
Okay.
She'll carry it around. So we wanted to throw some of those in there too. But yeah, and then we have, get honey all over, but yeah, there's honey and seeds and all sorts of good stuff in there.
So you just stuff their favorite treats
Yep.
down in those pipes.
So that's going to make them work for it. They're going to forage. That would normally be what they do. So they can grab some sticks, stick it down there to kind of dig for their food and work a little bit for it.
Oh, Husani's coming around. What'd you think, right?
Oh Lord, these
So
are
we've
sticky.
switched. We're still in the great ape family. We switched from orangutans over to the gorillas. You guys had some great follow-up questions of orangutans, so we will get to those. Yes, we'll do rhinos. Actually, we just painted a rhino's behind, and you can buy that painting. You can, again, scroll back through our Facebook feed to see some of those older videos, also up on YouTube as well. Husani seems unimpressed, you guys.
Well,
Is he unimpressed?
what?
Yeah.
Oh, he wants easier snacks.
Jojo came up too. There's Joe. You have a couple more?
Yeah, you guys, thank you for your suggestions, because we are doing these field trips every day at 11:30. Snow leopards, yes, that would be a good one. Maybe we will pop over to Asian Highlands. I need some moms to tell me. I'm going to be sending out like a poll to you moms in the evening sometime to get your votes on different animals. So keep your eye out for that. There, Husani budged. There he is.
Survey a little bit.
Valerie, age 7, wants to know how you train them.
So we use positive reinforcement for these guys. So I always use the example of, you know, say your mom asks you to clean your room and you don't really want to, but maybe she ups the ante and says, I'll give you some candy if you clean your room. Ooh. And then you're going to be more up to doing it. And if she does that every time, you're like, if I clean my room, I'm going to get something good out of this. So it's going to be very similar. We also do capturing, meaning it's things they already do, and then we start pairing it with that good positive reward. So fruits and high value veggies, stuff like that. And then just repetition and making sure we get it down to exactly what we're looking for, especially for those medical behaviors.
A lot of people ask us too if we go inside the exhibit with them. And we can do all these behaviors from outside of the doors. We've got gaps that we can access the animals through, and he's using his little pinky. But yeah, so we never go in with them, because even if these guys were being gentle with us, they're a lot bigger than us and a lot stronger than us. Exactly. So everything we do with a safe barrier between us.
You guys are right. Dads are out there too. I'm so sorry. I said moms. I meant moms and dads. I said moms meaning like parents, parental units. So my apologies for that. Yeah, you guys, look at how he can investigate that pipe and figure out how to dig out the honey and all the good stuff in there. We're getting lots of votes for giraffes, elephants. Hudson, 5-year-old, wants to know how they understand the trainers.
It takes some time, but when we're training them new behaviors, a lot of it can be trial and error. For example, let's say we wanted Husani to present his shoulder to us. These guys will allow us to give them injections, some of their shots that they need. And so a safe way to do that is to have him present his shoulder. So he might not know right away what we're asking him, but through a process of elimination, he'll kind of, if he turns to the side, we will, what is called bridging, we'll bridge the behavior. And we establish early on that the bridge means something good is coming. So our bridges tend to be whistles. We'll use a whistle, and that tells him you did something right and a treat is on its way. So as we're building on a behavior, he might turn to the side a little bit. We'll give him a whistle. He's like, oh, okay, well, when I did that, I got a reward. Until eventually he understands that what we're asking for him to do is press his shoulder up against the bars.
And then he gets that treat.
He gets the big jackpot. We always save big jackpots when we're training new behaviors for, a correct behavior as they're moving forward, so that they're like, wow, that was delicious. Big handful of grapes. That was awesome. I'm going to do that again.
They're also just very intelligent. Yeah. So, these guys are very closely related to us, so they catch on to things pretty quickly.
Now, have you told us ages, like who we have in here? People want to know how old and how much they weigh.
Sure. So Husani is 28, and we just checked his weight today. He is around 440 pounds. Jabali back there holding her Kongs.
Is this straight back?
Yes.
Okay, Jabali right here.
15. She's going to be 16.
Look at her use tools to dig out that honey.
And she is actually the daughter of Joe over there, and Joe is 42. Joe is around 240 pounds, and Jabali is around 150.
So Joe is the mama, Jabali is the kid. So those two are related. And then Husani's not related to either of them.
Nope.
How many babies have they had in their lifetime? So Joe's had at least Jabali. Has she had more?
She's had 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she's been a good mama.
Jabali's had none, and Husani has had none.
Now, how do you two tell the girls apart?
Well, for me, it was hard when you first start, but Jabali, you can kind of tell she's got a little bit of a younger face. She kind of has a little bit of sparkle in her eyes. I think it's
her youthful luster.
Yes, a little mischievous, kind of energy. And Joe is a little bit bigger. She's got a little bit more gray hair on the sides of her face. Joe has a little bit more of a calmer energy. Joe also gives some really good side eye.
Does she? She's like,
does.
Now Valerie, 7-year-old Valerie wants to know if they burp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, they
absolutely.
do. It's very gross.
They pass a lot of gas as well.
Yes.
So there's that. Lots of gas going on here in the gorilla.
Stinky
A cool thing about gorillas as well is that just like we have our fingerprints, their nose is kind of their fingerprint. So their face is going to be a little bit different in the way that is going to be special just to them. So yeah, instead of their fingerprint,
That's
their
cool.
nose is going to be that unique piece to them.
Okay.
So yeah, that kind of will change their faces a little bit between gorilla to gorilla.
Totally.
You guys, as keepers, are getting lots of thank yous from our community for being in here and braving the virus to take care of these gorgeous creatures.
Thank you guys for supporting us. If you guys didn't come and support us and watch this, then we wouldn't be able to do the thing we love so much. So.
And, again, it's a tough time at the zoo when we're closed to the public because we rely on gate admissions and memberships and train rides and carousels. So if you do want to support the zoo, which we would love, you can go to hoglezoo.org. There's a donate button. You could buy tickets right now and then enjoy those this summer. You could buy your membership now, gift cards, that kind of thing. We're all trying to help everybody in the community, right? Even though it's kind of a sketchy time. How loud are they? Summer wants to know how loud they are. Are we going to do gorilla noises too, you guys?
It's really hard to do Husani noises. Husani will do like a location call. His sounds are all really low. The girls in Husani will also do these kind of happy grumbles. They kind of do a low, deep grumbling sound, especially when we're about to feed them, give them their dinner or something like that.
Kind of think of a whale.
Yeah. And then sometimes... Yeah.
There's me. There's my...
Joe makes some pretty good whale noises. But then they also will sometimes scream.
So if you've ever been in the lobby and heard
I have.
screaming,
I have.
that
Okay.
is Joe.
Sounds like a full-grown woman screaming.
Yep.
Now, Kylie, age 4, wants to know what they're eating, so they've stuffed all sorts of good honey and stuff down in those
honey
tubes,
and
right?
seeds, different types of seeds, some popcorn. I crushed a bunch of that and poured it in there. So yeah, just kind of a bunch of different little things for them.
Yeah.
Now, how's their eyesight? Because Husani's examining that really up close right there.
So Huey has a little bit of a not as great eyesight as the others do, but I mean usually they're going to have pretty good eyesight, but Huey does have a little bit less. So he tends to stick things way up in his face. I was painting with him yesterday and he had to get really up close to the canvas to see where he was trying to put his paint. So yeah, he can be a little bit silly with that, but he's got to do what he's got to do.
It's his artistic side.
An artistic vision.
We're so glad you guys are enjoying the videos. Again, we've been doing it every day at 11:30. Those videos live on our Facebook page. We also have a YouTube link. You can go to YouTube, just type in Utah's Hogle Zoo, and there should be a whole list
the sun.
of all of. I know, finally, we've been waiting for the sun. The keepers came out with their jackets on. I have 2 jackets on, so that'll tell you something. Now, so gorillas, are they the closest related to humans, or gorillas?
They're pretty close, but
Yeah.
they're not the closest.
Yeah. Chimpanzees.
Yeah.
But then
okay.
I just saw a recent article, someone saying something else, so sometimes
It's always up for debate, right?
Yeah,
Science
changes.
is always up for debate.
Yep.
Now, Avery has a great question, and somebody else did too. The previous question was, what do gorillas do? And then
question.
Avery wants to know what their favorite thing to do is.
They do plenty all day. So they do a lot of this. We would call this foraging. So you'll see them kind of slowly walking back and forth throughout the enclosure, looking for snacks and food. They do a lot of eating. They do a lot of resting, as they would in the wild as well. They take time to take breaks. You'll see them napping in some of their hammocks. You'll see them up high. We train them 2 times a day, just like we do with our orangutans. We will also try and do some trust building activities with them, where we kind of play with them. But yeah, it might look like they're being pretty lazy and like a lot, but it's just part of who they are. It's what they do.
Gotta relax.
Well,
Yeah,
a lot
as
of
a
these
species.
animals, a lot of these animals, you gotta remember, they're eating, they're huge, they're large animals, and they're just eating greens. They're eating bark, they're eating leaves. So they really have to reserve a lot of that energy for digestion. Some of them eat things that others can't. And, I always point that out for our monkeys. We do have some geriatric monkeys as well. So a lot of people are like, why aren't they running around? Why aren't they doing this? But really, these guys are pretty much built to kind of just chill out and...
Liz, I know, it's a bummer. I'm gonna flip this around. Oh, I meant to show you guys first. So we have Hannah, they have their masks on, they're protecting themselves. Hannah rocking Instagram for us. I'm Erica from the marketing department. Gorillas, today we've done rhinos, we've done otters, we've done seals and sea lions. So again, all these videos live on our Facebook page. You can also go to YouTube. We're posting the links there. So if you have friends that love animals and love the zoo and they're not on Facebook, they can head to YouTube as well. Tomorrow we'll be back with another field trip at 11:30. And then don't forget to support your zoo. We need you guys. Even though we're closed, we still need you. You can donate at hoglezoo.org. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:30.